All right, listen, it's Paramount today that we tell you about these Paramounts. They're from Fender, like the Paramounts they've done before, but these are different. We're going to tell you why, so stay tuned. Hey, you're watching Alamo Music TV. My name is Chris McKee.
And I'm Cooper Greenberg.
We're here with Alamo Music Center in San Antonio, Texas. You can find us online at alamomusic.com. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, and like our videos. If you'd like to support the channel, visit our spring store link below for our custom designed t-shirts. Or, you could buy the guitars we're reviewing today from us. That'd be nice.
Or other swag.
Or other swag. Forgot that part. So today we are looking at a refresh of the Paramount line that Fender has been doing. If you're not familiar with the Paramounts, I think this is the third refresh that Fender's doing. But basically, it is Fender's goal to have kind of a higher end side of their acoustic line, all solid wood instruments, some classic designs. It's gone through a few iterations. This is kind of similar to what they were doing before, but with some new technology, some new bracing patterns, things like that. And the ones that Cooper and I have today are the all mahogany versions. So mahogany top, back, and sides, satin finished. This is the PS-220e, and that's the PD-220e. So Parlor, I don't know where the S comes from, because I thought P was for Paramount. PD, Dreadnought, I don't know where the S comes from.
Paramount Small, Paramount Dreadnought.
Maybe.
220?
No. Maybe they just didn't want to call it the PP-220e. In which case, someone at marketing, I understand. We are juvenile anyways. So the PS, which, that's fine. No jokes there. Small 12 fret, or no, it's a 14 fret necked Parlor. And I'm losing you, aren't I? It's okay. All solid wood mahogany construction. So there are a few versions. You can get these with spruce tops in a number of finishes as well. So there's kind of like a tint.
I think there is it
finish
spruce
and sunburst.
Ovencoal?
Ovencoal I know for sure is the bridge and fretboard, and I think the back and sides on those as well. Yeah.
Which will be cool. I'm excited to
try those out
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're still waiting for those to come in, but we had to talk to you a bit about the line because there's some new stuff going on, some nice aesthetics with these, some interesting things that I'm kind of on the fence about. So the aesthetics, well, first of all, let's see what your thoughts are on the inlay, the Fender logo up there. That's definitely not the 60s or 50s logo. It's kind of a version of the 60s, I guess.
They call it the fancy pants
The
logo.
fancy pants.
Yeah.
I like it.
I think that the inlay on the headstock is really nice. I'm a fan of that. Kind of a, little diamond snowflake Martin-esque thing on the fretboard. I think you and I both noticed most the, was that purfling? Was that inlay?
Yeah, the kind of herringbone sort of rope purfling and rosette.
It is Western.
It's definitely Western. The back is very cool, actually. It's, basically the design on the back, which is kind of this arrow design, is what is the purfling is half of.
Yeah, that's cool.
On either side. So it's a nice kind of continuation of the design.
To me, and maybe even in photos, typically Josh gets pretty detailed in there, so I'm sure you'll see it. But if you can't,
you can see the wood marquetry.
When I saw this, I thought that it was like a printed acrylic that was like that. And then looking very closely, it's little tiny pieces of wood.
Yeah, no, it's very nice. Cool. And I like I am a fan of satin finishes, but this is where I'm going to go on the record right here. I'm kind of on the fence with this one. It is so thin and so open pore. It's like, it's a bit rough.
Yeah.
Now that means it's going to be extremely resonant. I have no idea how it's going to wear over the years. And it is a bit rough feeling. But the guitars are very nice and resonant.
Yeah.
Particularly for mahogany-bodied guitars. They have that kind of low, mid oomph that you would expect to come out of them. And there's some interesting stuff going on inside. Do you know what they've done with the bracing?
I don't know what they've done with the bracing.
So
it's V-class.
I think there's a patent on that. So it's scalloped X bracing, but it's offset. So they've kind of twisted the X to provide different flexibility on different sides of the top, which is interesting. And then they've got a new pickup system in it.
Yeah, what is it called? I know it's a Fishman, but do they have a fancy name?
So the way they're calling it, which is weird, I would have thought that they would have trademarked something. It's a Fender Fishman collaboration on their Sonotone pickup, but adding a body sensor. So the Sonotone pickup, if you're not familiar, is a Fishman undersaddle pickup that's pretty much on most affordable guitars that have Fishman. It typically has the controls in the sound hole, and it's just an undersaddle pickup. Fender, on a lot of their guitars, did a collaboration with Fishman where they had different preamps going on and stuff like that. In this particular case, it's dual source. You can blend.
Yeah.
And you have the control. So instead of a volume tone, which has been typical, you have a volume, which is your knob that's closer to the bridge, and then your blend, which is the knob closer to the neck. And they're not labeled, which is why I detail which one's which.
Yeah.
And then you said that the knob...
So if you're turning it
towards
the neck, less blend. Or
more
unblend.
undersaddle. That's your undersaddle.
And then if you turn it this way, because you're adding in the body sensor.
Got it. So...
Took just a moment to figure that out.
Yeah, it's not too difficult. Usually you'll be able to identify the body sensor because it's not as quacky sounding as like the under saddle pickup is going to be. You're going to have a richer, warmer sound, generally speaking. But they don't have instructions on their website. I didn't see any in the boxes or the cases for these. We should say they come with hardshell cases.
Really nice.
Which is nice.
Cases,
so could have missed it. Maybe it's because they're early. I don't know, but it's good that we detail them for you so that you know how the pickup system works. But the nice thing about having it dual source with a body sensor instead of a mic is it's not going to be as prone to feedback. It can still feedback, just like just an under saddle pickup can if you have too much gain. It's a whole nother video. But you get a lot of that warmth without that kind of feedback or boxy sound that an internal mic can sometimes have.
They definitely scream vintage to me. Mm-hmm. Nice open geared tuners. Are those?
They're brandless.
Waverly-esque.
Yeah, I think they look a lot like some of the Waverleys or Gotos that you might find on a Martin.
But I like them a lot. I would say that these guitars, for me, kind of scream like if you have an Ibanez Artwood, like the mahogany ones, and you really, really like it and want the same kind of vibe, just a step up, all solid wood, similar vintage vibe. I think this is for that player. It's like kind of the next step up from that.
And there's another body shape on this series.
Orchestra, right?
It's like basically an orchestra or an OM body shape. And it just like this, it's available with a spruce or mahogany top and a variety of finishes. So some very cool options at their kind of third version of this. And different sounds on the Parlor or the Dreadnought. So you put them through their paces?
Yeah. So the thing is, obviously, Parlor and Dreadnought not going to be for the same kind of player. So did some finger picking on here, did some flat picking on here. We got the mic, warm, WA-47 Junior. So we're going to hear the acoustic sound, with the mic, start it with the body sensor not blended in. And then, so you're going to have three little samples. You'll see me messing with the knob because, I'm going to throw in the body sensor during the demo. Let's check it out.
So there you go. You have the mic'd sound. That was a good explanation. Mic'd sound, pickup where it's under saddle, and then blending in of the body sensor to give you more warmth. So I like that this is giving you some higher end features. Most guitars that are kind of doing what these guitars are doing at this price point, it's a basic pickup. So there's some value added there along with the case. So let's talk about how much they cost. So these are sub $900, just barely.
Sub 9.
As we do this video, and I say that because I'm really cagey about pricing right now. If you don't know, pricing just keeps going up everywhere in every industry. We're no exception. We have to keep updating all of our prices in our store and on our website. So check our website, alamomusic.com, for the latest pricing. But the idea here is to be kind of on the high end of affordable guitars. And I know that's debatable.
It's relative.
It's relative.
Subjective. It's all those things.
I think of the affordable guitar market is under $1,000, and you have good guitars starting at about $200 up to $1,000. That's kind of what is about affordability.
Yeah.
You know, and so what that means is that depending upon the brand, you're making sacrifices in the materials that it's used or where it's built, different things to get into that price point. But there's other guitars from other manufacturers that are like this, where it's all solid wood, it's around $800, $900. You get a pickup with it, but it's usually just like the basic sonotone, and you don't get a case with it anymore. You usually get like a gig bag, or maybe you don't get a case at all. And so I kind of see what Fender's doing. Designed in California, made in China. That's part of your sacrifice to get into that price, right? But giving you a hard shell case, not a gig bag, and tweaking the pickup to be a little more of a high-end pickup than what you would typically see, even going up to, say, $1,500.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of value there. It's interesting that this is kind of, they're continuing to try to iterate with the Paramount series.
Yeah, I'm really eager to see what they do the next time they start over from scratch in the Paramount series.
Well, in all fairness, the Parlor specifically is not very different from what they did before. The big differences are the pickup and the bracing.
Yeah.
But we reviewed one of those a few years ago that was very similar.
Yeah.
You know, at the time I think it was like $650 or something like that.
Yeah, and I'm giving them a hard time when I say the next time, but I will come out and say I'm an unabashed supporter of Fender acoustics.
You have a Fender high-end
I have a
acoustic
great
guitar.
Fender acoustic, and one of the most recommended guitars that I talk about is the CC60S.
Yeah.
All mahogany. I love that guitar. And so even then, like their CC, CD, the classic design stuff, you know, I think they're really great for an entry level. They make great all mahogany with a solid top, you know. Like I said, kind of comparing it to the Ibanez AC340, people love that. All mahogany is an incredible combination, and there are great ways to get in, and this is a really nice way to take it to the next level. And I'm excited because I recorded the demos, I heard it acoustic, and I know what it's going to sound like from the mic, but I'm really excited with all of you when the video gets edited to kind of hear the pickup and the body sensor, because I like Fishman pickups a lot, and I think that cranking one up a little bit with a nicer feature is a great idea too.
Yeah.
And the case alone would be like at least $179.
Well, and that's really where I think Fender's, you know, finding some value in this price point, or making the value proposition. They're basically saying, look, from the other guy, you can buy a very similar guitar with similar aesthetics, or maybe not as nice aesthetics, like more basic inlay, maybe no inlay, in all solid wood. It's also made outside of the country, but you don't get as nice of a pickup, you don't get as nice aesthetics, and you don't get a case. So you can buy from us, and these are the bonus things that you're getting. And there's tweaking some stuff. I think the bracing changes is unique. You know, and the pickup's definitely a nice addition. And so there's your value proposition. I'm curious, though, what you guys who watch our videos think. A lot of you on this channel are acoustic guitar players. What do you think about the Fender Paramount line in the past? Do you like the changes that they're doing with it? Do you want them to continue? Should they push into, like, you know, they did a long time ago, US-made Fender acoustics like yours. We carried them. I thought they were fantastic custom shop guilds that said Fender on the headstock, but they did not find a market because they said Fender on the headstock. And now we're in a very different world. We have Fender doing the Acoustasonic guitars. We have guitars made overseas from various brands that are fetching $1,500, $2,000 easily. I think there may be an argument for Fender to kind of continue refining this and maybe get into U.S. guitars again. Would they sell? What do you think about these? These are all outstanding questions I'd love to hear from you guys on. And I'm sure Fender Marketing would love to troll our comment section and see
Check it out.
So,
I didn't even tell you, I was in California last September, I think.
It's all a blur.
I think it might have been July, actually. Either way, I was walking around Zuma Beach, and the most ridiculous Fender ad that I saw someone playing a California Series, like Redondo player,
Right.
on Zuma Beach, and I was like, that's where they took that picture from the ad. But the thing is, they got the classic design, they got the California stuff, they got the Paramount. There's a lot of really good choices for everybody, but this is nice to have it be kind of, I think it's probably the flagship acoustic that they make. I mean,
it certainly is right now, if you don't count the Acoustasonic as a full-fledged acoustic, which I don't. I think it's its own thing. So yeah, this is definitely their flagship. Once we get the others in, we'll do videos on those as well for you. They have slightly different designs with gloss finishes and the different tops, so that'll be interesting as well. But let us know in the comments below what your thoughts are. If you're new to our channel, make sure you subscribe, you turn on notifications, like our videos, and remember that the very best guitar in the world is the one that you're playing, regardless of what it says on the headstock, even if it says Fender, but it was made by Guild back in the day.
And you better be playing it on Zuma Beach. Get out there, campfire time.
Was it like like candy apple red Redondo with the Strat
It was
headstock?
like one of the burst ones, kind of like that. It was just nice. I did see a GS Mini Co out there too, though. So it's like, what are you gonna do?
Taylor's glad to hear that part. So subscribe to our channel, turn on notifications, like our videos, and keep coming back. We'll see you next time.